Hey guys, it's Kachurin, bringing you the Week 2 review for Season 1 of the Casual Cup. Before we start, I have to note that one of the battles wasn't played this week as, unfortunately, Sentient Coffee, the coach of the Venezuelan Vaporeons, decided to step down. As a result, the London Lycanroc were awarded a 3-0 forfeit victory. There will be a replacement coach next week. But with that said, let's get into the first battle. The Mischievous Murkrows versus the Philadelphia Flareons, Benji bringing Mega Diancie, Zero Aura, Ferrothorn, Snorlax, Gyarados, and Claydol, and Jaden bringing Mega Sceptile, Landorus Incarnate, Scolipede, Hippowdon, Blastoise, and Flareon. This match was real damn close. Both players played a really good game, but Jaden just played it a little bit better. He preserved his win cons well in Scolipede and Landorus, and very nicely baited Ben into losing his Ferrothorn later in the game by switching the Flareon, but no, it was, he substituted with Flareon in front of the Ferrothorn, predicting the switch 2 times, and then the third time, Ben tried to predict him to do that and kept Ferrothorn in, but Jaden just attacked and one-shot it. Ben did make a few big mistakes, however. He threw away his Diancie, thinking it was going to kill Hippowdon, when it unfortunately left it at 3% HP, and Hippowdon killed it back, which is really big. He also tried to Dragon Dance on Jaden's Flareon right after the Ferrothorn got killed with a very, very weakened Gyarados, even though he knew that the Flareon was going to kill it with Hidden Power. For the most part, though, the game was very back and forth, and Jaden just barely got the 2-0 victory. Moving on to the Windsor Worples versus the Cosmic Crobats. Turkeyzilla and the Worples bringing Nihilego, Latios, Scizor, Serena, Magmortar, and Piloswine, and Crow and his Cosmic Crobats bringing Mega Manectric, Alolan Ninetails, Azumarill, Lucario, Cloyster, and Alolan Sandslash. In another really close game, the Worples took this one 1-0. Turkeyzilla threw out a very clutch Toxic to keep Belly Drum Azumarill down even after a Z Belly Drum, and Bullet Punched to finish it off after it had only managed to kill one Mon. And despite a lot of unfortunate misses, and I mean a lot of unfortunate misses from Magmortar and Serena, Scizor's Bullet Punch actually managed to clutch the win out, with a lot of Crow's team not being able to take that hit. Crow did misclick Shell Smash on Cloyster, which caused it to die to the second Bullet Punch, but unless the Cloyster was Life Orb or Max Special Attack Hydro Pump, it would not have been able to 2-hit KO the Scizor regardless. But either way, close win for the Worples. Scizor clutched it out. Moving on to the next game. The Williamsburg Whimsicots versus the Honorable Houndooms. Pantros and the Whimsicots bringing Mega Steelix, Jirachi, Hydreigon, Raichu Alola, and Minior and Hitmontop, and Fencer and the Honorable Houndooms bringing Mew, Crocodile, Porygon Z, Gigalith, Stakataka, and Drampa. Pantros may have brought 6 Mons, but we only really needed to see one. This is a cut and dry 6-0 victory. Unfortunately, Fencer actually set Trick Room up himself with Mew early on, which only served to get Pantros' cursing Mega Steelix 2 quick KOs, and from that point, Fencer's team was just kind of incapable of beating it. The Mew did not have any moves to attack with, and with just, I believe, Drampa and not Stakataka, Gigalith left, the Steelix was not under any threat. This one was basically just a case of being under-prepped. Fencer could not deal with Steelix. He didn't really have what he needed for it. That's all there really is to say about this one. If he had brought his Mega Houndoom, that could have punched a hole in it. If he had brought a especially offensive Mew with Scald or Fire Blast even, that could have punched a hole in it, but he just didn't have those tools. So Pantros very easily picked up a 6-0 victory. But we're going to move on to the next one. My own Oshawotts versus Siderius' Staggering Staraptors. Siderius bringing Mega Camerupt, Mimikyu, Dragonite, Rotom Wash, Arcanine, and Barbaracle, and myself bringing Mega Scizor, Tornadus Therian, Araquanid, Goodra, Delphox, and Alolan Golem. This game honestly should have really been a lot closer than it was, but I misplayed very, very poorly around Barbaracle. Goodra was the only answer I had to Dragonite, being Habanberry and able to take a hit from +1 Dragonite and just kill it back. But unfortunately, I just let Goodra go down to Barbaracle, and then Dragonite got a Dragon Dance up, and I made another mistake. I decided to try and preserve my Tornadus, who was out against a Dragonite, rather than just firing off Z Hurricane to weaken it. And as a result, Siderius got another Dragon Dance up while I U-turned. If I had just stayed in, the worst that could have happened was I was outraged and killed, but even at that point, Dragonite's stuck in outrage and Scizor can deal with it. But like I said, I U-turned out, made a mistake, Siderius got a second Dragon Dance, and from that point, it was just pretty over for me. It was very, very well played by Siderius, though. He set up when he knew he could, Shell Smashing on Barbaracle and Dragon Dancing with Dragonite to just absolutely slaughter some of my Mons. I may have misplayed, but that's not to discredit the win. It was very, very well played by Siderius. Moving on to the next one. we have the Crabby Club versus the Ace Alolan Ninetails. Cobb and the Crabby Club bringing Mega Gallade, Tapu Koko, Azelf, Milotic, Lurantis, and Clawitzer, and Sword of Strife and his Ace Alolan Ninetails bringing Mega Gardevoir, Kyurem Black, Garchomp, Rotom-Mow, Metagross, and Talonflame. This week was full of close matches, Cobb barely taking this one 2-0. Cobb played this one pretty damn well, catching Sword of Strife off guard with an Azelf Explosion to eliminate Mega Gardevoir, but in the same vein, Sword of Strife messed up, mistakenly thinking that Garchomp was going to outspeed Mega Gallade and catching an Ice Punch for it. Sword of Strife still played it very well, though, getting his Talonflame set up near the end, but unfortunately not even +2 Brave Bird could break Milotic, so Talonflame went down and Gallade cleaned up the game. Nice win for Cobb. Unfortunate for Sword of Strife, but we'll see if he can bounce back next week. Moving on, we have the Charming Chandelures versus the Garrigmont Garchomps. Uni picking this one up 5-0, bringing Mega Aerodactyl, Keldeo, Infernape, Bronzong, Machamp, and Xatu. And Kaiser and the Garrigmont Garchomps bringing Mega Garchomp, Alakazam, Entei, Empoleon, Diancie, and Oricorio Sensu. This next battle, it looks really bad. It looks like Uni lost one Mon and then Keldeo just swept the whole game, which is what happened, but up until that point, it was actually very, very close. Kaiser had the upper hand as well after he got the KO on Machamp, but unfortunately for Kaiser, Uni brought a very, very clever Keldeo set with both Calm Mind and Taunt behind double screens set by the Bronzong, and the Garchomps just could not break it. Kaiser tried to defog the screens away, but was prevented by Taunt, and then because he had Psychic and not Psyshock on his Alakazam, nothing could defeat the Keldeo, and he was quite swiftly swept by it. You hate to see it. Moving on to the final battle of the week, we have the Vigor Vespiquen versus the Muslim Mewtwo's. Ryan DCB bringing Mega Blastoise, Kartana, Mamoswine, Togekiss, Reuniclus, and Palossand, and Yu bringing Mega Medicham, Clefable, Magnezone, Torterra, Komala, and Amistar. The Mewtwo's actually taking this one 3-0. Ryan had some very crazy threats in this game for Yu to deal with, namely Kartana and Mamoswine, but Yu handled them quite nicely. Mamoswine switched into a big Earthquake early and got chunked out, to eventually fall to Clefable, and Kartana, unfortunately, was choiced and got trapped by Magnezone's Magnet Pull while using Aerial Ace and fell to Hidden Power Fire. After those things were gone, Torterra, of all things, actually cleaned up, surprisingly outspeeding Mega Blastoise. Overall, this was a very good game from Yu, but I feel like Ryan could have definitely won this one if he played or prepped just a little bit better. And there we have it, folks. That's all the battles from Week 2, and here we have the Week 2 rankings, the standings for each division. We're beginning to see some frontrunners, namely Siderius and the Staraptors, Uni and the Chandelures, Jaden and the Flareons, and Yu and the Mewtwo's. But some other teams are also still lagging really far behind, namely Ryan and Vespiquens, Fencer and the Houndooms, Kaiser and the Garchomps, and formerly Sentient Coffee and the Venezuelan Vaporeons. You'll notice that that logo is now missing because that coach has dropped out, like I mentioned earlier. That spot will be filled by another team. They're going to take over the current roster. They'll get 3 trades to make and take over the current 0-2 -9 score. We'll see if they can bring it back from that. There are still some clumps, especially in the Zamazenta side, but these first 2 weeks were actually both played within the divisions, and Week 3 is going to actually be the first real shakeup for the standings. Everybody will be battling somebody from the other division, meaning the standings will look a lot different after next week. Most notably, we actually have 2 really important frontrunner battles. We have Siderius and the Staggering Star Raptors versus Yu and the Muslim Mewtwo's, as well as Jaden and the Philadelphia Flareons versus Uni and the Charming Chandelures. The top 2 from each division are going against each other, which is going to be really fun to see. Stay tuned for the next week to see who will rise and who will fall, folks. This has been Kachurin, and I'll see you in the next one.